So I am a little new to my new camera and setup, so I'm getting a little used to it. Welcome to the Wives Club, whoever is here with me this evening. I appreciate you being here, and I hope that you get value from what the Wives Club is all about. So I want to give a little bit of an intro on what the Wives Club is about and why we're here. I've been doing this now since about 2014, more so in person with people. But now I'm starting to get into the online space and try to meet people not from just my area or local and friends and family, but also from different places who would like to connect. And so I started the Wives Club in 2014. After I got married, I had been married for 2 years. And 2 years into my marriage, a lot of things was changing. A lot of things about me, a lot of things about life, a lot of things about my husband, in the dynamics, and was changing. He also has a child, a son from a previous marriage, so that also was, kind of in our situation as well. Not necessarily the child because he's awesome, but just the dynamics of having to consider and add another adult to our situation outside of what we have going on. Also, that's the year I got pregnant with my daughter. Um, and things were just changing. And with those changes, um, you know, I myself was just kind of looking for some support, some feedback or information, or maybe even advice, suggestions on how to navigate some of the things that I was experiencing, with a blended family, just marriage in general, being a wife, some of the things you come into contact with when you're getting to know someone, when you first get married. And that for me just sent me looking for a group who could kind of help me with those different waters. But unfortunately, I didn't really find anyone or a group like that outside of like my church family. And although they were, great and it was very helpful, um, they didn't really give me the type of tools that I was looking for. So it really wasn't as helpful as I have would have wanted it to be, trying to figure it all out. And it wasn't just about marriage; it was also about how I was changing and how my goals had changed from what I wanted before marriage. And so for me, it was like, okay, so what are you looking for now? How have these dynamics changed, and how do you navigate the waters, and how does you and your partner feel about these changes that are happening, or how do you and your partner feel about where you guys are going in your marriage? um and as I asked around, like my sister who has been married for now 22 years, and my other sister who's been married now uh, about 6 to 7 years. She was in a long term relationship at the time, and my cousin who was married before me, and they were all women, and my mom who was a widow. So I'm just asking questions to different women that I know who've either been in relationships or marriages, who could kind of give me some insight on some of the situations I was coming up, against. Um, and they didn't necessarily have the answers, but they did have their experiences that taught them certain things. And what I come to the realization is that, you know, there is no, right or wrong way to be married or to be in a marriage, or how to be a woman. But there is something so sacred and beautiful about having a support system and having people around you that can help you navigate. And sometimes you even being a person who can help someone navigate, someone who may want to get married, or someone who you know, who is considering marriage, who has been married and is like on the verge of a divorce. One of my friends was like, "Hey, I really need your wives club, and I need to get around some supportive women because I'm on the verge of a divorce. If I don't figure this out, with my own situation, you know, we're gonna get divorced." Um, and she actually did get divorced and got remarried, and and then she's not in that marriage either. So she's actually not in her second marriage either. Um, but what that also told me is like, everybody's gonna learn as they go, but it's always good to have a support system there to help you, um, you know, be better and help you learn yourself and help you learn things that you may not know. And sometimes these things that you're learning, you're getting while you're in these relationships. They don't always come just because, uh, you know, you're married. You know what I mean? Sometimes they come as you're in a relationship. Excuse me, my daughter is here and I gotta help her. Um, and this is really the reason why I don't get to make too much content because my children are usually with me um, all the time. Go ahead. So I thought it was very important for me to start this journey with getting in touch with other women who had similar experiences or completely different experiences, whether that be in just a relationship, a actual marriage, or separated, divorced, widowed. Because my mom has some serious stories about when she was married to my dad before he passed away, things that she had to overcome as a woman, and a lot of this is not spoken about. Some are making marriage look like it's all about the wedding and glitz and glam, and then others are making it like it's a complete disaster. But I think the problem with that is, and I think the reason why there's no midpoint of why we're really understanding what marriage is about, is because we're not talking about it. And this is completely fine because everybody's like, oh, it's my business, my marriage, I don't tell people my business. And I get it. But I think sometimes holding on to that narrative of not talking about your business is also holding you back, because some of that business that you're saying you're holding on to, which is somewhat of a pride thing, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but sometimes it even holds you back from your growth, and sometimes it even holds you back from where you're trying to get in life because you're not expressing those things that are maybe, you know, subconsciously, you know, holding you down, and you're holding on to it because you're trying to protect, your marriage and your family and yourself and your image, and that is okay. It is. I don't want to make it seem as though it's not something you should be doing, which is being protective of your energy. But I think some of those things are meant to help you by releasing and being of service to someone else, to help them in their time and help them gain perspective, and help them heal, while also being a wounded healer, because you also are telling something that you need to release from you, but this thing that you're releasing is also helping someone else to learn and navigate their situation, or have a perspective before going into a situation. And so I thought it was very important to create a safe space for women to, really unload some of that heavy stuff that they carry, whether it's just being a woman, being a mother, being a wife, being a daughter, being a sister. It's some heavy things that us as women carry just to, make it through the day. And sometimes we just suppress it, and we go and we, take care of the kids, take care of our husband, go clean up or go get things together, run our errands, keep the house together, try and run side hustles and do business on the side and be social and get your body together. And you've got so many different things as a woman, wife, and mother that you're trying to accomplish in life and keep everybody, happy and well put together. And you're working on helping everybody else. And a lot of times women and wives and mothers are losing themselves. And with losing themselves, sometimes everything else around them gets shaky because they are the anchor. They are the foundation of what is holding all these things together. And I know that we just think we can go, 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 go and do. And in some ways we can, but how efficient are we in our own mental health? How efficient are we in our own physical health? Our emotional health, our spiritual health. just being in tune with who we are, and really loving and wearing our own femininity and loving on ourselves, and just really nurturing and cherishing ourselves the way we nurture and cherish everybody else around us, you know? And that's really important because I think what people are missing a lot of the times, and what's going on in the world, is that the world is growing cold. It's not a lot of love. It's more so of how can I use, or how am I being used? And a lot of that is because we have a lack of nourishing from the women in our families, the lack of nourishing and nurturing from the women that you're in contact with, the women that you're around. There's so much on TV that tells us we have to compete with each other. We have to put each other down. We have to isolate ourselves, and we can't have female friends. It's so many women I've met who said, I don't really have female friends. I don't have very many women in our life um, that are excuse me, that are uh, you know, around us to nurture us, and hold us accountable and love on us. And some of what we're going through also is a lack of accountability for ourselves as well. So um, and in relationships, in marriages, some of it is a lack of us as women not holding ourselves accountable for things that we know we should be doing for ourselves. And it's not more so of accountability of just like for other people or to other people. Some of it is just an accountability of saying, sitting down and really reflecting on where you are, what you truly need, being able to ask for what it is that you need, speak up for what it is that you need, and stand on that. I myself have had those types of situations where I wasn't being vocal about what I needed, you know, and sometimes, and I was expecting, my husband to understand what I needed and do it, but it was really more so of me coming out of that childhood trauma of not feeling, loved on, and my emotional needs being met, and not realizing that I can ask for help and it is okay to ask for help. That I was taking on those traumas in my marriage, and just thinking that, oh, he's going to figure it out. He's going to know what I need eventually, or hey, I'm going to do it all and I'm going to burn myself out, and then I'm going to be all frustrated and irritated, and it's going to show, and it's going to be turned to the person closest to me, which is my spouse. And so I really, really want to provide a safe space for women to release that. And I don't mean just women in marriages, because you know what I realized also, and even though I'm a married woman and have been married for 11 years now, that even women who are just they're engaged for years, or a girlfriend for years, or just common law marriages, and they don't necessarily believe in going to the courthouse or things like that, which is okay. Everybody has their personal preference. But um, just even those women, even women who have been abused and left relationships, come back, are separated and went back to their spouse and remarried, not just being a wife um, legally says that the other women who are going through relationship issues and who have been tainted by relationship issues are not going through as well. And so I just wanted to put the Wives Club together. That's why it's with the Z, because it's not just about legal wives. It's about any woman that is in that position of being a mother, taking care of a household, being in a relationship, having things change them because of a relationship with a man, and how things they may have not seen or needed to see or needed to reflect on as an individual um, has molded them and changed them from just the individual woman they were before they got into a relationship, or even had um, relations, or been in a relationship with another person, whether that be man or woman. Let me not just say man, because some are in relationships, same-sex relationships still do have some of the same dynamics of getting to know each other, asking for what you need, and being the one who does everything. So I don't want to exclude anyone, because being in that position as a woman definitely um, is who I'm trying to reach. Just knowing that being in that position of where you take on a lot, as the matriarch of that family, or as the woman of that family, or as the nurturer or the caretaker of that family. And being a woman can be very, very sometimes exhausting, sometimes very demanding, sometimes you know, very overlooked, sometimes unappreciated. And we also need to uh, tap into those areas, and speak our truth about those areas, and really know what it is that we want and need, so that we can then thrive and be our best selves. I myself am on my journey of still figuring out exactly what I need, exactly what I want. And each day when I see something that I may dislike, or I see something that I'm displeased with, or that makes me feel like, hey, this is not really, resonating with me, it teaches me every day. Whether it's something that I'm still dealing with trauma, or something that I'm like, you know what, I really don't like this. And so I'm going to speak up about this, and I want to have a conversation with my spouse, or even a conversation with some of the my relatives, or family members and in-laws, and saying, hey, this is my boundary that I want to set. And some of those boundaries I didn't know how to set. And I'm learning through reflecting on a lot of my experiences that I've been having in a relationship, in a marriage, because my husband has been being my mirror. He has been helping me see some things about myself that I couldn't see before. And so it's also helping me grow as a woman, as an individual. And that is what is has propelled me on this journey to say, some of these things I need to heal. And then when I sit with it, I'm realizing, like, some of this stuff was from when I was a child, and it put me in the same emotional space, like, ooh, that feels like, this time. I remember this time when I was a kid, or you know and I didn't realize it before. And being in my marriage has helped me realize the last time I allowed something that I felt like I wasn't in control of kind of take me off into a tangent of other emotions. But it made me aware. And so I'm grateful for that. And so what I want to do is I want to also create a safe space, because in the Wives Club, we honor support. Support is very important, and we do not take it lightly. And I do not take it lightly. And so what I want to do is I want to extend an olive branch to anyone who would love to um, be a part of it, be a part of the Wives Club, and attend our meetings, and go out to some of our social events that we have. We have self care events. We also have entertainment events where we just get to break loose, and we just get to be a kid sometimes and have fun. And then we have support group meetings where we speak about our moments of vulnerability, and we also make sure that whoever is in our group understands that this is a private, safe, honored space for support for our women. You can visit our website at wivesclub.com. That's WIVEZCLUB.com. It'll also be in the description box. We also have a Facebook group that you can join. We have a Instagram that you can also join, Wives Club 23. Our Facebook group is Wives Club. And you can join us and be a part of our group, and be a part of some of the things that we do, and expand our online family, and not just our in-person family. We also do travel. We have a couple of our who are in New York and New Jersey, and we also go there and we do some things with them. Um, and we have cooking sessions with the women, and we just give advice, and we talk to one another, and we share our experiences, and we comfort one another. But we also are there as a sisterhood on our womanhood to really encourage each other and build support and be there and love on one another. And that's the most important thing about us, as women. I really want us to know that we are needed, we are loved, we are supported. And it's okay to have sisters around you while you go through something. It's okay to form a family outside of your initial family. It's okay to be vulnerable and help others during the time of their vulnerability. I'm not going to be up here long because I have to get to my children, but I thank you, whoever did um, tap in and see, anyone who this reaches. Um, Outside of this moment, it is timeless. So I'm hoping that this reaches um, all the women of the world. And even if you're not, down and out, or need that kind of help, that you want to be a part of it, and help some of us, teach us some skills that you may have. So I thank you again, and you all have a good day and have a good evening. It's about 6 o'clock, so have a good evening. And thank you so much for being here. All right, bye.